Hello everybody, my name is Alex and welcome to a video where we talk about 5 things which could be introduced to make Civ 6 even better. These are pretty big changes to the game, bringing brand new mechanics and things which I think lots of you will find fascinating. So point number 1 is political movements. Now rebellions in Civ 6, especially for civs that have strong militaries, tend to be relatively easy to put down, or at least in my experience they've been easy to put down. But what if rebellions could be far stronger than just a single city rising, and what if a successful rebellion could lead to a new independent cluster of cities? For me that would be fascinating to watch unfold both in my civilization and that of my neighbours. So this could work by the spread of rebellious ideas across neighbouring cities with low loyalty and that share similar grievances with the player as a ruler. For example, though the seeds of rebellion may begin in one specific city with low amenities, should the player fail to address these grievances, due to the spread of rebellious ideas, another 2 unhappy neighbouring cities could quickly join in preparing to revolt. Very quickly, players then have a major political crisis on their hands and may even have to negotiate with the rebels. So I've made some other notes on how this could work. So other uniting effects for rebellious cities could include religion, the fact that they have been conquered by one civilization, or perhaps loyalty pressure from a neighbouring civilization. Talking about neighbouring civilizations, another thing to mention is that neighbouring civilizations should be able to intervene with these rebellions. Most obviously, other civs have a lot to gain by seeing their rivals weakened, so they could support the rebellion. But if the rebellion's happening in a long-standing ally of theirs, they could always come in on the side of the governments to help put the rebellion down. Also, rebellious ideas could traverse borders as well, so putting rebellions down could be good for your civilization in the long run. The final thing I'd mention on this is it would work very well as a game mode similar to the Apocalypse game mode, something you can toggle on and off, so you don't always have to deal with it, but if you fancy something a bit different then you can toggle it on and it just works in your game. So on to point number 2. So the next thing that I think would improve Civ 6 is the ability to play in just one specific era for an extended period, or basically by cutting off the technology tree at one specific point. For example, wouldn't it be cool to play a game where all the combat is medieval units, or perhaps selection of weapons from the World Wars, just sticking to one specific time period in your game? When I was younger, me and my friends put literally hours and hours into manufacturing these sort of situations in online games on Civ Rev. Because technology never really moved forward in these games, it would lead to some absolutely epic wars, where strategy and how to use your units took on even greater importance. Now there are a few drawbacks to this, so I guess one of them is that depending on the era, this would certainly benefit some civs rather than others. But I don't necessarily see it as that big of a problem, and I would love to just conquer the whole world with my Roman legions for a very long time. Though I was always going to put something like this on this list, I will give a shout out to Jack who also suggested the idea because clearly great minds think alike. By the way, if you are enjoying this video today, please do remember to hit the like button, check out another one of our videos after this and subscribe to the channel. Those things would help me out enormously, so yeah, thank you for watching and I'll get back into the video now. Point number 3, and I am gonna keep banging on about this until Firaxis include it, so somebody probably needs to tell them, but I'm gonna mention unit customization again. Now I'm not saying that every single unit in Civ 6 needs options to customize, but I would love to be able to customize my navy, especially in the late game. How many aircraft can my carriers hold? How big are the guns on my battleships and how thick is the armor? How quick are my ships? Do they carry torpedoes? All of that good stuff. I think it would be immense to design my own class of warships. Obviously with this there would be trade-offs. A battleship with massive long-range guns, a recon plane and thick armor is going to be relatively slow. Additionally, it's going to take longer to build and more upkeep compared to the lighter class of battleships with thinner armor and smaller guns which you could possibly build. So obviously bigger ships, more expensive, longer to build, but they would be pretty cool. Though I haven't got into a ton of detail on this one, this is the kind of customization which I think would take certain aspects of Civ 6 to a much better and much more detailed level. Point number 4, political unions. Now as we've seen through history, political unions can actually do a great deal for a nation's power. In Civ 6 there is one principal way I would love to see unions added, this being that 2 nations can join together as an advanced option in the alliance system. When a union is formed, each of the 2 civilizations in the union continue management of their individual cities, but they share stuff like resources, they combine geos such as science and culture. Obviously there would have to be some form of penalty, you can't just add one civ science to another civ because that would be a bit OP. Maybe take an average and add 20% or something, I don't know. And additionally, both of these civilizations are then tied together in diplomatic affairs, and because I like visual stuff, I'd like a unique flag they can both share. That would make me so happy. Now, although I'm saying the unions can be really good, they should be able to be cancelled as well with a bit of notice, maybe 10 turns. And once it's been decided that the two nations no longer work together, there'd have to be some form of divorce settlement, maybe to divide gold, maybe to divide territory, because if you've conquered a lot of land together, that's going to have to be divided up equally between both civs. You could ultimately stick it out to the end though, win the game together and share the victory, but I know a lot of people would just like all the glory for themselves, so we'll end up backstabbing their partner. For me, political unions are a perfect way of enhancing the diplomacy in Civilization 6 and would allow for so many more dynamics. As one example, obviously unions allow two civs to grow stronger together, but if there's an established power in that region that doesn't want these two nations joining together, that could be a good cause for a war and get a casus belli to stop your enemies joining together and rivaling your power, so it brings lots of different dynamics into play. Point number 5 on this list is a new victory type, the economic victory. Now this one is basically based on viewer suggestions, and a few viewers actually suggested this. So how could an economic victory actually be implemented? Well, Marco suggested that one way could be to use a form of national currency, where to achieve victory all civilizations must use the player's currency as their national currency. To achieve this, Marco suggested the introduction of new content such as economic wars, economic blockages, and new World Congress projects, plus much more. As a very basic idea, I think with some development, this would work amazingly, so thank you Marco for that. Another way to actually introduce an economic victory was brought by Infinite Donuts. Now this is actually crazy good and detailed, but I'm going to try and simplify it as much as I possibly can for this video. I will however leave the full comment in the comment section of this video. Honestly, give it a read, it's so detailed and good, so thank you so much. So this idea revolves around the mechanics of economic shares, which can be bought with gold. Essentially, once your country buys more than half of the world's shares, they win an economic victory. The number of economic shares in the game is determined by all your civilization's output by gold, production, science, culture, tourism, and faith, etc., and this is updated at the end of each era. Another thing to mention is that the price of shares will fluctuate depending on the laws of supply and demand, and trading of shares between nations would be a thing. Now everything I've mentioned so far is basically the very core mechanics of how this would work, but there is one other thing I want to mention. This victory type should bring a new economics tab. This would allow players to watch the world's economies and to monitor events like the Great Depression. Remember, events like the Great Depression can cause economic turmoil and fast track wars and stuff like this, so it's not only a victory type, it adds some crazy new mechanics to the game. Like I said, there is far more detail to this, so read the full comment if you are interested. I found it fascinating. I just want to say a massive thank you to everybody who did leave your comments, it's massively appreciated, and even if I didn't feature your ideas in this video, I do appreciate it and I will try and feature more of your ideas in the future. Thank you so much for watching this video today. If you want to see another one of our Civ 6 videos, then check out the video in the box below. Also, if you have enjoyed, make sure you hit the like button, that helps us out massively. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss more regular Civ 6 content. Share this video with a friend. And yeah, thank you for watching. My name is Alex, and I will see you in another video soon.